What's up guys, Winter Kills here, and welcome to a brand new Atlantean Mermail deck profile / tournament report. Now I know I just recently came out with a deck profile for this deck, but I recently went to a box tournament at my shop, sort of a revival tournament for our shop after it's kind of been a little slow around there as far as tournaments go. We got a box tournament out there, got a lot of people out advertised for it really well, and we actually had a pretty decent turnout. We had a 12-man tournament, which may not seem like a lot, but we've been having 6 5-man tournaments for months now, and it's been really depressing. But the box tournament actually turned out pretty well and holds some promise for the future. We had to submit deck lists and everything, you know, real professional. But overall, it was a really competitive tournament and definitely helped out our store a little bit, which was really nice. Of course, I entered in that tournament. A friend of mine did as well, who's usually on the channel playing Kozmo, and a longtime friend of mine who's now sort of running the Yu-Gi-Oh aspect of the shop now, was in the tournament as well. We had 11, I think, no, we had 11 people, and then, yes, we were aiming for 16, didn't reach that number, but we ended up giving away a full box, so everybody paid $10 for entry, and OTS packs were prizes, as well as you know, the new set. I think second place got 12 packs of Dark Illusion, first place got a box, and there was raffles and stuff, so it was a really cool event. But I'm gonna give you guys like a full in-depth tournament report, as well as some new ideas that I have over here in this little stack of cards, which is gonna be really cool. And I want to show you guys this idea that I have, because I really think you'll like it, and it's probably the most innovative thing I've ever came up with, which kind of says something, because, you know, I usually don't come up with that many cool tech card ideas, but I think this one is definitely one to take note of. My friend of mine who plays Kozmo actually helped me come up with the idea for this. But anyways, we'll get into the profile. There's only a 1-card difference main deck than there was in the tournament, and I will post the full deck list that I played in the tournament down in the comments, or down in the description below, so you can check that out if you want to see what I played exactly. But like I said, it's just a 1-card difference. But anyways, we'll get into the deck profile. We'll talk about rounds, what I played. We played 5 rounds of Swiss and did top cut, top 8, top 4, and the finals. So yeah, a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh. I think I was there for like 6 hours playing, but overall it was really nice. So I'm gonna kind of spread everything else. We'll start up here with the main deck. So of course, triple Megalo. Necessary, needed it all day. You gotta play Megalo at 3. Triple Teus, of course, one of the best Mermails in the deck. Now I ended up cutting lead for this tournament because I wanted to play the full Kaiju engine, so I needed room, and I kind of wasn't digging lead at the time, so I just ended up cutting him. Of course, he is, I think, expendable as far as the card goes. I've had games where he just makes your brick hands worse. But if I were to cut the Kaiju engine and I wanted cards put back in, I think lead would definitely be one of those. Turge, Lind, and Gund. I cut Pike. Pike was actually the one card that I was playing in the tournament that I am no longer playing now. Just because somebody had brought up the fact to me that Pike just doesn't really have good search targets, which I totally agree with. He does search level 3 water monster, but that's, you know, Marksman, and that's Gund, which he can search that, and Neptabyss can search Marksman quite fine, so you don't really need that card. But you do need Turge, because he does add back DIVA and Neptabyss, so he has a lot more utility. And I did buy a Europrint box of Abyss Rising, so I did get a Europrint Lind as well as Turge, so I'm not playing the Alti right now. And my store did get 3 boxes, so I'm going to try and buy the rest of those and see if I can pull some Megalos just for the fun of it. Maybe I'll open them on the channel. If you guys want to see that, let me know. But yeah, that's it for the Mermails. Kind of a smaller Mermail engine. And then kind of onto the other stuff. Of course, the one of Moulin Glacia right there. And then over here we've got, for our Atlanteans, the standard rundown of triple Neptabyss. Make sure you guys can see that. Double Dragoons, double Marksman, double Infantry, and the one of Diva. That's kind of it for the basic core of the deck. This was fine all day, of course. I think I saw Diva every time I needed to see Diva, which was absolutely amazing. And if you guys, when you see the feature matches, if you've already seen the feature matches, which I'll probably upload this first, then I'll upload the matches. It just played out so well all day. I was able to get this card on the field, and then end up setting it up the right way where I could do discarding this and this for Megalo, tributing this off, reviving the infantry instead of a Dragoons to normal summon the Diva that I would search out the Dragoons I discarded. So it was just really smart play and just was working fantastically. So that's it for that. I'm just going to quick transition to the Kaiju aspect and the rest of the monsters in the main deck. Alright guys, so for my Kaiju engine I was running double Gamma Seal, 1 Kumungus, and 1 Radian. I was also playing double Max C, and that was it for the rest of the monsters in the main deck. I know you can play the Moth one, I don't know what his name is, but it really doesn't matter, but he's a level 8. It is better to play him than Radian, I guess, because he does have 2700 attack, so you can have a little bit better chance of getting over him than Radian if you have to give them Radian, but I mean you can still pop it with infantry regardless. Obviously not off Slumber, but if you just have this in your hand and you distribute it, it's a little bit easier to get rid of the Moth one than this guy. But he's a level 7, so he helps make Red Ice Flare, Draco Sack, Big Eye, so definitely nice to get a free level 7. Double Max, he was really good all day. I definitely enjoy playing this card, however, I'm thinking about cutting it. I don't know. I just feel like there's other cards, especially for the tech cards that I want to talk about. I might cut these for that, and you guys see that. It's actually really, really cool. So yeah, that's it for the monsters. Spells were pretty much standard. Triple Instant Fusion. Opened up this card, I think, 2 in hand first turn a couple times, but it wasn't too bad. Usually, you just need to see this card. That's really all that matters. Double Slumber to go with the rest of the Kaijus. Double Mori Agreed, decided to cut down that card, I think last profile, and I'm liking it. And then the 1-up spells, of course, Twin Twister, 1-for-1, Upstart, Mizuchi, and Raigeki. Want to play Kraken, monster negating effects. This really didn't do too much other than just give attack boost. I don't think the fact that it negated spells was too threatening. A lot of times they just bait it out, and then you lose your attack boost without having any real effect on their play. So yeah, I don't know, I might cut this for the Abyssgale, the Kraken, and just give that a try. But yeah, that's it for the spells. We'll just get these quick out of the way here. And there's only 2 traps that we're playing. I know there's usually 1, right? But we're playing 2 as of now. I ended up, this is the card I put in place of Pike. So if you want to know what my build exactly was for the tournament, get rid of this card for Pike, and that's the build. But if you want to look in the description, it'll be there too. Like I said, I've always preached it, that this card will solve the late game issue that Mermail has. The Neptabyss, you can burn through your Dragoons too fast, which is a good thing, and it's also not a good thing because your late game Dragoons are just awful. You either have no targets, or you're sending a infantry to add a marksman, which in some cases late game, if you're top decking, don't do you a whole lot. But this card is really good, and it can recycle your Norden to make instant fusions live again, so it's overall a good card, and I think I'm going to stick with it for now. But yeah, that was the main deck. Worked out really well, especially in top, and definitely the Kaiju engine was probably the biggest MVP of the whole entire tournament. So yeah, that's 40 card main deck. For the extra deck, go into it real quick. Gaios, Big Eye, and Red Ice Flare. I was playing Draco in the tournament, didn't make the thing a single time, so I ended up playing this instead because I would have made this card way more. I would have made this card if this wasn't Draco Sack. Like, I guess the way to say that is if I had this in my extra deck during the tournament, I would have made this. Made Gaios, made Big Eye, never made Draco Sack, double Dweller. I didn't have a game where I made 2 Dweller in 1 turn, but that's because I wasn't playing Jar of Avarice. Double Dweller I think is still mandatory though, because you can make a Dweller without instant fusion. It just takes a little bit more time to set up, and you're going to regret it when you don't have the extra Dweller to go into when the opportunity arises. But went into Dweller nonetheless. Never went into Anarch. Went into Spider Shark once. That's it for the XCs. Let's move these guys over here. So you can kind of still see them, sort of. Synchros, Leo, Trish, Clearwing, Coral Dragon, Armory Arm, Herald the Arclight, Tatsunoko, and then of course Norden. Went in Tatsunoko, Herald, and Armory Arm several times, as well as Coral Dragon. The Clearwing, I think I went into 1 game, didn't do too much at all. Went into Leo, went into Trish, and obviously Norden plenty of times. But I think this, I ended up cutting. I cut something else in the extra deck here for the armory arm, but overall the extra deck was pretty solid. I think if I were to cut anything for, you know, extra deck changes, as far as when the frog comes out, tree toad, Bahamut shark, I'm probably gonna cut 101 and maybe a dweller or something, or this card, because I really don't like it that much. It's just not good. It's, if you can't play Crystal Wing, like, I just don't like it. Especially since we have no real way to make Crystal Wing with the cards we have, especially since I don't play, you know, Valor. It's hard to make that card when you don't have a level 1 tuner to go with your level 6 or level 7 Synchro, and Coral Dragon's a tuner, so can't even go there. So yeah, side deck is a little bit different, but it's not too much different. Like, I had one Ghost over the tournament, but now I have a second one. So double Ghost Ogre, double Flying Sea was amazing against PK Fire. This was good against Kozmo, although I sided it, I never saw it, but that really didn't matter because I still won the game anyways. I was playing triple Magical Spring, but I cut one for the second Ghost Ogre, which I just picked up today actually as I'm recording this. Chalice, System Down, second Twin Twister. This card actually helped win me the entire tournament, but I kind of want to play 2 now just because of how good that was. Double Scolding and the Strike, which I kind of want to main, but I kind of just like siding him instead because I don't want to, you know, open traps if I'm trying to go second because it slows down my play. Obviously trap cards, you can't discard those. But the reason I think I have him in the side deck is just because if I know I'm going to be forced to go first, I'd rather, you know, risk opening those cards over other cards like Raigeki, which are useless turn 1. So I just side more traps, and Ghost Ogre's going first, or not Ghost Ogre, but, you know, just the Scoldings and the Strike, because if you can Scolding a freaking Desires, which I actually did today at another tournament, you know, banishing 10 for a cost and then not drawing anything, you just automatically win, especially when you have them under maxi. And I'm talking about PK Fire. But yeah, that was it for the whole deck profile. Like I said, it was worked really well. Me end up to win the entire tournament. And I'll go ahead and get into my matches now. This is going to be a bit more of an in-depth video, so I do apologize if it's really lengthy. But if you want to get a good in-depth look at my thoughts and, you know, issues with the deck and what worked and what didn't work, then feel free to stick around and discuss your thoughts and opinions in the comments as well. But we'll get into my matches, 5 rounds of Swiss, and then the top cut, which was 3 different rounds. I have them here on my phone, wrote the notes down. Round 1 was Pendulum, and I do have a highlight from that match as far as I can remember, which would be, he opened up really well. He had to go first, very seasoned Pendulum player, and he ended the first turn field with Magister. Like, he went Sorcerer and Sky Iris, so it was a really solid turn for him. Like Sorcerer, Sky Iris, and then he ended with Magister, Titanic Galaxy. He was kind of debating whether or not to go into Titanic Galaxy, not with his Dinosaur and Ignister, but he did, and had full scales and a Necro Valley, which was a tech choice of his. He ended up, you know, burning his Terraforming at the end phase 4, or not end phase, actually main phase 1, to grab the Necro Valley to finish off the play, which I thought was kind of disturbing because, like, I didn't want Necro Valley hurts me a little bit. Instant Fusion to shut down, as well as Neptabyss, which obviously definitely hurts a lot, but I had Interrupted Slumber in my hand and Twin Twister with Moray of Greed, which was dead at the time. So I was really lucky that I had the extra spell card in my hand because, you know, the way it was set up, he had to negate the Twin Twister because he would have lost a set of scales, which he wouldn't be able to replace, and the Necro Valley, which would allow me to play better because I was targeting his Phoenix and his Necro Valley, and he negated it with the number 38, and I discarded Moray for cost, and then I slumbered the board and proceeded to OTK, which was really, really clutch. And then game 2, he made Dweller turn 1, right? And I go standby phase, it's fine, you know, main phase 1, fine. Doesn't chain the Dweller as if, you know, he's waiting for me to normal summon something, and I Radiant over top of the Dweller, and he scoops just because he didn't get to use the Dweller, which I guess is kind of a misplay on his part, but he was kind of waiting for an effect to activate so he would not just waste a Dweller and have me pass without doing anything. which I fully understand. It's just trying to be precautionary and use the Dweller like to the best of its ability, but you didn't see the Kaiju coming in. I ended up making better plays and just won from there because that's a Dweller that didn't get to resolve. Round 2, I played PK Fire. That match was a little bit tougher, but the side deck really came in clutch there. And of course, Dweller, Flying Sea, I saw game 2, along with Maxi maining that was really helpful. But I ended up losing that 2-1, which kind of sucked. I was kind of feeling good round 1 with the 2-0 against Pendulum. So yeah, that was round 2. Round 3 was Blue Eyes. I played that, and that was a 2-0 win. The guy wasn't the best at Blue Eyes, but it was a 2-0 victory. It was kind of hard fought, you know, going against the number 38 was kind of tough, but that's kind of why I like, you know, that's why Twin Twister was like one of the most MVP cards of the turn, because just having that Twin Twister to bait out the negation to losing their back row and stuff was just so good. But not too many highlights from that round. Round 4, I played against Blue Eyes again. Better player, better build, I would say, and ended up losing 2-1. Got the OTK off on him pretty easily. Game 2, ended up losing 3, obviously. And then round 5, I played Pendulums again, of course, just regular Pendulums like I played round 1. Ended up losing that 2-0. So I'm X3 going into top cut. Didn't think I was gonna make it. Honestly, I was about to leave because I had other stuff to do, like schoolwork, and I'm like, I don't want to be here for much longer if I'm not gonna make top cut. But luckily, you know, we had only 10 people. We were gonna do top 8 because we wanted to do a top 8 cut. I made it in. I think as like the 7th seed or whatever, or 8th seed, playing against number 1, which was PK Fire. I played PK Fire again, top 8. Absolutely opened up amazing. Had the side deck cards, had the Max C's, had the Herald for negation, had the Dweller, played out perfectly. Won that match 2-0. Round 4, or top 4, I played against Blue Eyes again, which was the player I lost to in Swiss in round 4. Ended up beating him 2-0 in top 4, and game 2 was really interesting because he had made a huge comeback using the Master card, with the Blue Eyes Master card, Master with Eyes of Blue or whatever, that does shenanigans. And I had made Big Eye, and I think I had a Dweller as well as the Dragoons on field. He ended up clearing the Big Eye, and the alternative I stole, and put me there with a 1800 attack Dragoons and a 1700 attack Dweller because I lost all the materials from it because I detached twice. It was sticking to the board pretty well. And he had 400 life points left because I had done so much damage to him, and I thought I had game at one point, but I forgot I had Upstart in, which kind of makes me want to cut Upstart for the 3rd Moray again, but I probably won't do that just because Upstart's Upstart. It's a draw whether or not you have Waters in your hand or not. But Slumber won me that game because I was able to clear the field, give him a Gamma Seal, and give me a Radiant, swing for 600 for game, so that was awesome. And then in the final round, I played against Fire King Kozmo. Game 1, he goes Delta Shuttle with 2-set back row, which is Warning Cosmojo. I draw into Moray for turn, but had Twin Twister and I had Diva in my hand and Infantry, so it was just freaking bonkers. Twin Twistered his back row after he didn't have too much of a strong opening, and he sent Wicked Witch to decrease the stats of his Delta Shuttle just because of its end phase effect. So it was at 15-15, so my Dragoons was able to beat over it, so I was able to OTK him from there with Coral Dragon and a double attacking Megalo. With, I think, no, I didn't have Armor here because I wasn't playing Surface in this build, which I didn't miss Surface, honestly. And then game 2 in that match went by just as fast. I was able to, oh no, I made Herald in that first game to negate the Delta Shuttle after attacking with Dragoons, so I was able to swing in for 32-32, and he just did not draw well, and the Twin Twister won me that game hands down. And then game 2 he just bricked, and I was able to outplay him and won the whole tournament, got a free box. I was just so proud with how well the deck did and how well I was able to play out in top cut and actually win from being X3. My secrets were Coral Dragon and Magician Navigation. Not the best secrets, but really wasn't what I was caring about because I didn't buy the box. Obviously, I got a free box for $10. So that was cool, and just really proud with how the build played. And one of the bigger tournaments I've won in a while. And with this deck, that's just amazing. And then the recognition for it as well. But yeah, that was the entire tournament. But now to get the one thing I wanted to show you guys is afterwards, after everything was said and done, I had this idea, like, how do we make TZOLKIN in Mermails? Because it's already not good. I mean, yeah, here's the pike that I cut. And I was also thinking about playing Mistworm 2 on top of Trish. Just because bouncing 3 cards instead of just banishing 1 would set up OTK plays really well. So let me know what you guys think about, you know, the pike, I don't know. But Mistworm, I don't know. Cool card. I was thinking about playing it. I was having just a 16 card extra deck to see what it'd be like just to play that. Hasn't come up yet though. But these 2 cards are the cards I wanted to bring up to you guys. Since I bought a Abyss Rising Euro print, I ended up pulling this card because, lo and behold, it comes in Abyss Rising, coincidentally. But with DIVA, I'll go ahead and show you guys a little bit in depth here. You need DIVA, this card, and this card, TANNHAUSER Gate, however you want to pronounce it, and Siege Dragoons of Draconia, which was the promo card for Cross Souls. So basically, what this card does is you target 2 monsters you control of the same type, both with 1,000 less attack. That's both these cards right here. Both have 200, both water. And then basically their levels become the combined levels of 3 monsters. They're both level 5. And this is the only DIVA target that fits this card, which is kind of strange. The only DIVA target that fits this card, and it's absolutely amazes me how there's only 1 card in the game that DIVA can summon out that matches this card's requirements. So I guess it's just meant to work out like this, I guess. So what you would do is, if you open DIVA at all, and this card, which I would be planning on playing 2 copies of because it's not searchable obviously, but this is searchable. So having 2 copies of this and 1 copy of this I think would work perfectly. And even if you open this card, it still works. A lot of people say, well, what if you open the Siege Dragoons? Like, you know, your play is dead, it's not going to work, the 2 TANNHAUSERs in your deck are dead. Not true, because what you can do is just summon out this here, which gives you another normal summon. But yeah, you can go this into this, and then give this as your second normal summon, and then still have your 2 targets. But the point I'm trying to get to is you can make TZOLKIN by making this a level 5 tuner and this a level 5 non-tuner. You can synchro up, set a Sphere, set a Twin Twister, go into Crystal Wing. And I did a test hand, and it was probably the best turn I've ever had with Mermails. My hand was this card, double Teus, Dragoons, and Instant Fusion. And you can play this out too if you want, and just proxy this card as well as the Siege Dragoons if you don't have it. But I ended with Gaios, with Mizuchi, Dweller, Moulin, TZOLKIN, and Crystal Wing in the set back row, which I think was a Sphere, which I ended up, because I ended up summoning a Megalo at some point during that turn, but I had to tribute away a Teus to get the second tech, even though I ended up overlaying the Megalo just for the credit points on the field there. But it was the best turn I've ever opened in Mermails, and this card allowed for that, and I think this has really good potential to become a really good play. So let me know what you guys think about TANNHAUSER Gate and Siege Dragoons with DIVA, this combo. Let me know what you guys think about it. It's pretty cool. This is the card right here, TANNHAUSER Gate, came out of Abyss Rising, super rare. It's like 15 cents on TCG Player or whatever, 45 cents first dead, I don't know. And then this came out of Cross Souls. Comes, I think, as rare and ultra. But yeah, that was it for the tournament report, deck profile, and my experience. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and let me know what, like you said, what you think about the combo and just my deck in general. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate the support, and as always, Winter Kills signing out. We'll see you next, and also be looking forward to seeing the feature matches going up from this tournament, and the final match where I'm playing in, you'll get to see. Yeah, be looking forward to that. It's going to probably go up after this, so let me know what you guys think. As always, Winter Kills signing out. We'll see you in the next one.